What is going on, everybody? We're here and we're live. It's finally Friday with Ryan and Jay. I say finally, but it feels like this week is absolutely flown by. Like it's wild.
I'm glad it did because I wasn't eating and today was the day. I feel so good. Bone broth was good. Felt like a sizzling steak in my mouth, man. Actually, I had the chicken. It's still like KFC. It was great. I feel
Wait,
good.
you had chicken broth?
Yeah. It's freaking great. It's the greatest thing I've ever had.
Tastes delicious. It sounds great. Makes me so hungry, Jay.
It was wonderful, man. Those Popeyes right in my mouth. Kapow!
Yeah.
Happy.
Let me know when you actually fucking eat something because that's
right.
nothing.
I'm going to eat, when I do eat, it's going to be like 2 eggs and that's it. So
2 eggs, back to your normal.
Keep it like almost like carnivore, almost
like carnivore, huh?
Yeah. I took all your medical advice from yesterday for the good carbs. Says sweet potatoes, a little bit of yellow rice, or actually, you probably only eat white rice. Let's be honest.
Yellow rice. I eat like white or brown, whichever.
That was a racist joke.
Well, look, I like brown rice. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have a penchant for brown rice. Okay with brown, the right circumstances.
Oh, so yeah. Hopefully, it's not too hot today. I'm actually gonna try to cut the grass, and that's gonna be my Friday.
It's been raining a lot here, so your grass is probably
it's nasty. Yeah, I'm waiting for that little note from the HOV people to show up. Homeowners Association.
Well, there you go.
Too high. Get out there and cut it. My lawnmower is electric. You know that? It's like I just got a battery in it.
Oh, really? One of those, not gas powered? But I've used a couple of those. I fucking don't like them. It's like
they don't have the power, that's for sure.
They don't have the power, especially if you go too long between cutting your grass, especially if it's a little wet or something, like you do it in the morning when it's still a little dewy or something.
When the battery's starting to get low, you can just hear it. And it's like, man, then you got to like charge it up. It takes like an hour, charge it up.
Yeah, let me burn some fucking fossil fuels. You know what I mean? Boom. Come on. Well.
Such is my life.
Angst Kitten says, I love them for edging. Well,
yeah, all my equipment is battery operated.
Got to be careful how you phrase that. But yes. Yeah, weed whackers and shit like that. I don't mind if they're electric. That's fine. But a lawnmower, it's got to be gas, man. Got to be gas.
Are you a push button start or you got to do that freaking crank and go, man?
I'm fucking cheap, bro. I'm cranking that shit.
Okay.
I'm.
There you go.
Like that's what I do. Typically,
I always like that my neighbor decides to cut his grass, which I understand in Florida because it's hot, like at 5 a.m. The whole neighborhood wakes up. But
Well, get
I
fucked.
respect that in a way because it can get brutal.
Vladik G, who used to go by Vladik Gorbanov, changed his name. I want Ironheart to suck. Well, regardless of whether you want it to or not, I don't think you have too much control, but I think it's going to suck in general. I think there's a reason why Marvel waited so long to put this out. And now we're starting to have the articles fly around about the backlash to the Ironheart trailer, Jay.
I know. I'm going to make a video on
Marvel has a dislike bombing problem.
Finally going to make a video. It'll be
Yeah.
out Riri Williams.
Alex McCarthy, S Tier Friday, enter code RK Outpost or Drunk 3PO. Yeah, check out Meta PCs, our friends over there at Meta PCs. Use code RK Outpost or Drunk 3PO or 199 if you want to. I can't tell you the pain and suffering it puts me through every morning to have to see that fucking 199 shit in that intro. I can't describe the pain. I get everybody likes it. Ain't going anywhere. It's unchanging now. But
that little mascot thing, the guy with the big head.
IDOT, fucking a meme on a meme on a meme on a meme. Everybody loves it.
So we're gonna get an IDOT costume and put somebody in it. Walk around.
Hopefully it's Beardo. Legendary scrub for 2. Jay's hair is funny.
What? I got it cut yesterday.
My hair's looking weird today.
Got that high and dry.
High and dry. Madney for 5 is yellow rice like yellow snow. I don't know what yellow rice is.
It's just yellow.
What do you? Only if you put something in it or on it.
You never had yellow rice?
Yellow rice?
Yeah.
I know white rice. I know brown rice. Unless you're putting something on it or in it.
It's like Spanish rice, man. It's like Spanish rice. It's good. It's my preferred rice.
So you're talking about the stuff that comes that already has like the seasoning stuff in it?
No, you can get it plain, but it's just yellow. Tastes like white rice, but it's a little yellow.
Yellow. I don't know if I've ever had that. Keenan Endanu for 2. Ever play the video game Yoshi's Story? Any good? Well, I famously am a massive Nintendo guy.
I'm gonna say no, I haven't.
But I don't think I've ever played Yoshi's Story, so I can't. It's probably not good. That's my guess, Keenan. That's my professional opinion. Young Stav. I'm halfway there, Jay. I'm in Florida, New York. Oh, fuck my life.
He's on a road trip. He's been super chatting. Like, he super chatted my early show.
Where's he going? Where's he coming from?
He's coming from Rhode Island to New York.
Well, where is he going? Like all the way across the state of New York? Like you're going to Buffalo or some shit?
I forgot.
I don't think it ain't too far from Rhode Island. Like if you're going to NYC, right? It's not like super far. But I guess if you're going across the state. Because he's chatting you in the morning show and he's halfway there. I mean, he's been driving for over 3 hours already.
He's been driving for a minute. Also, real quick, before you say that, we got to get this out of the way first. It's going to bother me. Here it is right here. Instant pot of yellow rice. That's yellow rice.
That's very yellow.
Yeah. You can buy it in a store. I think she added the chive. I don't know. Maybe it's just rice that was soaked in chicken broth. I don't know, but it's good. There you go. Maybe you should give it a whirl.
Yeah, rice.
I think I called it Spanish rice. Maybe I think I was wrong on that.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because I've had Spanish rice.
Yeah,
yellow rice for sale. It says Spanish style, yellow rice Spanish style, which probably just means there's other stuff in it.
That's probably where I got that from. It's actually Asian rice.
Okay. Yellow rice. I see it. So this is what I was thinking. So this is like yellow rice with saffron, like yellow rice with stuff in it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Yellow rice. I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to stick to my white and brown rice. All right, where am I? If Disney released the Japanese version of Ironheart on Disney Plus, it'd probably break viewership records. Is that that's not a porn, is it? It's just like a
It's an
Japanese
anime,
movie
right?
suit like yeah, no, it's not an anime. Um Japanese Ironheart movie. Let me see if I can find it. Um
I don't know. I only saw clips like people posting like a still image.
it looks like it I don't think it's a porn, but probably do better than this Ironheart, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Bar King, I hope Riri gets Chris Brown like her namesake. Damn.
Wow, that's brutal.
Brian Kinnell, Jay, try not to laugh at everything challenge. He'll try.
I try every day.
Keenan Endanu for 2. If you ever skateboarded, why did you?
I'm 6'4", filled with jelly. Me on a skateboard is only asking for trouble and a lot of trips to the hospital. So no, I never skateboarded.
I never really. I had a couple friends who did, and I'd hop on and try to move around a little bit, but I could never do anything. So
No.
I didn't really care.
I tried
I
ice
mean,
skating once.
it was what?
Yeah, I tried
You
to
tried
ice skate
ice
a few
skating? Is that what you
times.
said?
Yeah, it was bad.
I
I
mean,
became a wall hugger. You see the guys just stand on the wall, and you just kind of scoot around the wall. That's what I became.
I've been ice skating a handful of times in my life. It ain't that much different than, I mean, it is different than roller skating and rollerblading. For me, the first time I did it, my fucking ankles were killing me, dude, from like trying so desperately to like stay up. I'm not very good at it, but I can get around, you know. I wouldn't want to be in a race with anybody.
Yeah.
I can get around a little bit. Um, Yellow rice is white rice with adobo. Is like Ryan with a bad tan. I'm about to break my fast with some rice, beans, and chicken. Can't wait, says Samuel Perez.
Hey, you were fasting too. I've inspired a bunch of people.
There you
Imagine like
go.
people from like third world countries like looking at it, looking at me and being like, wow, this fat guy, like we have to fast because we have no food. This guy's fasting because he's just trying to challenge himself.
Uh,
America.
David Smart, the new Final Destination was awesome. Pure chaos. And RIP to Tony Todd. I've heard the Final Destination is exactly what you'd expect. Like, not a very good movie, but really interesting deaths and shit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. SBZ for $5. Great job on Drinker yesterday, Ryan. Love it when you roasted Bella Ramsey and divided his chat. This guy's base versus this guy is awful. LOL.
You did that? How dare you?
Yeah. So like I did. I gotta be real. I can't when I'm on somebody else's stream, I can't sit there and like look at the chat or pay attention to the chat. Like too much. You know what I mean? I'll pop in there every once in a while, but especially when we're talking about fucking Andor. I'm so tired of talking about this show because people have such wildly differing opinions on it, and truthfully, I'm somewhere in the center. So when I'll go on open bar, and those guys really, really fucking like, for the most part, not everybody, but I'm just saying, like, in general, it seems like the people are on with really, really love the show. And so I seem probably overly critical of it from everybody else's in the chat's perspective. Flip to today on FNT, where I'm probably going to be what I feel like is more fair to it than anybody else that's on the fucking panel. And I'm going to get hammered for, oh, you're being way too nice. You're a shill. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be on fucking EFAP. Probably they're going to absolutely love it. And I'm going to be more critical of it. And it's going to be flip flopped. So
Can't win, but you got to be yourself.
yeah, it's got to be real. So Taker for 2. How come it's not Iron Woman? Iron Womexon. I don't know. Day Tripera for Argentinian $100. Chef here. Spanish rice has saffron. It's what turns rice yellow.
So what's the point? Is it just looks? Just to look good?
Well, saffron is a flavor, like it's a spice or
I don't
whatever.
taste any different, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm buying just a food colored yellow rice.
Yeah, red dye 40. Bro, do you see the memes about RFK when he
Oh
was
yeah,
in front of that hearing and the crowd erupted behind him and he like really jumped?
yeah. Like, it was the guy
So,
from freaking Ben and Jerry's.
bro, and someone posted the clip of him like getting fucking really startled, and it's like when RFK Jr. hears me opening a bag of
Yeah,
Doritos. Like,
yeah. They've been great. I like the one where they have a picture of RK and he's like in that dark area, I guess. You ever seen that picture of him where it's like he looks like the emperor. He's like really dark, but you can just see him and people are like they would post that picture when someone's like, "Man, I'm heading to McDonald's today." They would post they would post that picture on the as a comment. It's so funny.
God dang. We got a $2,500 UI. Is it Uruguay? Maybe you know what that is? I
You're asking me.
UYU. Either way, it seems like it's about $60. You can have this $60 I was going to spend on PC Stellar Blade till they decided to slap Denuvo onto it, aka the DR that makes D game run like shit and is a security risk for your PC.
Wow, really?
A lot of people hate fucking Denuvo when they put any of that stuff in there. So I think seen something about that yesterday, but Zeffy, thank you for the $60. I'm sorry you couldn't use it on Stellar Blade, but we will definitely take it. We'll definitely take it.
Love the
Thank you very
avatar.
much, Zeffy. Hell yes. We may as well get though. Yeah, I need to fucking see what UYU is.
While Ryan's doing that, there's a new movie coming out with Nicolas Cage as John Madden. And we have our first look. Look at that. It's Nick. Nicolas Cage is John Madden.
I think you pulled up the wrong picture.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
But yeah, Nick Cage is John Madden and Christian Bale's in it as well. It's freaking wild.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was funny.
And also, I did find out it is Uruguayan. It's Uruguayan peso. So glad. I had to fucking know, Jay. Sometimes that's how I am. I'm like, the fuck. I have to figure it out. Let me get my fucking yellow rice on eBay off of the off of the fucking thing.
Prices are down. They're going down, apparently.
We got to talk about Ironheart, Jay, because people are starting to notice that it's not going very well. We talked about the Ironheart trailer when it came out, a trailer that Marvel delayed and delayed and delayed, and a show that Marvel has delayed for 3 years at this point before I guess they decided the best time to do it was bury it right before the Fantastic Four release. But we finally got the official trailer. Unfortunately, it didn't go very well for them, as we've talked about. Ironheart trailer suffers another devastating blow on YouTube. The new Ironheart trailer's debut follows the footsteps of The Marvels. I'll fix that for you, Subham Mandal, unleashing another dislike storm on YouTube. And yes, as we speak, Jay, you know what? Let's refresh. We got to make sure we're giving you guys the most up-to-date information we can. It's at 316,000 to 178,000 up. So basically, I got twice as many dislikes as likes on this thing. And I feel like the ratio is just going to keep going. And of course, you have so many articles now that are mentioning this and saying it's unclear why, but it could highly be due to the fact that it's a person of color in the lead of this role and that there's a lot of gay characters. First of all, I don't even think we knew about a bunch of gay characters in this fucking show. That wasn't even known to us. But now it is. Marvel Studios' newest trailer is getting dislike bombed. I love how they say that it couldn't possibly be people just don't like what they see. Couldn't possibly be that. They go over a bunch of the comments, things that we went over yesterday. Keep your expectations low so you won't be disappointed. Can't believe this film 3 years ago is only coming out now. I want to create something iconic, create something that already exists. Practically every line in the trailer is another character telling her how much of a genius she is. And now we get to the blaming, the deflecting, the things we always see from these articles after they release something that people don't like. While viewers are reacting negatively to the film's diverse and female-led cast, while this wasn't explicitly outlined in Ironheart's comments section, so there you go. Hey, we couldn't find any comments that say I'm disliking this because it's a black person. We're going to write about it anyway. The series is yet led by a young black lead and features a cast that includes racially diverse and LGBTQIA plus actors. I don't even know who of these actors are gay. I'm going to be real.
Probably all of them.
I'm going to be real. And it all comes back to this as well. We've seen a flurry of tweets exactly like this over the past 2 days. It's not racism. People just think she's a bad character and the trailer just looks bad. Bullshit. We saw this character one time in the MCU. And it was in a film that people generally liked. Nothing about this trailer warranted this kind of reaction.
It was in a film that people generally liked. That's rich.
Yeah, and
talking about Wakanda Forever.
Talking about Wakanda Forever. And first of all, people despised her in that movie, even if there might have been some stuff they liked. I thought Wakanda Forever was disappointing in a pretty disgusting way to bait people into watching this by actually putting the death of your character into it and pretending like this is a funeral for the actor himself. And that's the way you sold it to people. I thought it was pretty disgusting. Instead of recasting like Chadwick Boseman wanted them to do. Marvel decided to take advantage and try to profit off of his death.
I also love the fact that they killed him using a virus right in the middle of like our Koof thing here.
Yeah. Very true.
The virus killed him.
And I'm just going to say this, right? If you think, well, you know what? The only reason that people are disliking this trailer is because the character's black. If that's what you think, then these same people should have eviscerated the Wakanda Forever trailer, right? Because here's a spoiler alert. There's a lot of fucking black people in that movie. I don't know if you noticed Keyshawn, #BLM. But strangely enough, when I go to Wakanda Forever, here's the official trailer. I mean, it's got 10 times the amount of likes as it does dislikes. Nearly 1 million likes, less than 100,000 dislikes. Why did the racists just show up for this one? If you're telling me that that's the reason it's happening is simply because it's a black lead character, how did the movie that was virtually all black characters not get the same treatment? Someone needs to explain this to me. The message didn't get sent out. We didn't have the Telegram messages out there for all the racists to go dislike bomb something. Why is that the case?
You said the same thing about a recent film, Sinners. I got theirs up. It's not ratioed. They only have 3,000 downvotes.
Yeah. Where are they? Why are they just picking this one? Maybe that's an indication that it's not just about this. It's about the character who we've already seen once. And people didn't like her, felt it was ham-fisted in there, felt her character was forced, and felt her character was pretty fucking cringe to be in there in the first place. They're not interested in another one. And maybe they think the trailer looks like shit.
Yeah.
Maybe they're tired of seeing these people who are just taking on a mantle, even though they've tried to push away from that as far as they can. A character that when they tried to do it in the comic books, it did not work over and over again. Maybe people think it looks like shit.
I love that argument too. It's like, I can tell when you guys haven't read the comic books of this character by the way they talk about the trailer. It's like, absolutely. Nobody read the comic books of this character. You're absolutely right. Nobody wanted to read the comic books of this character. This is it's a bad character, and it came about of a time where you guys were trying to like be diverse and everything instead of creating something new with new powers and everything else, or making a film on your already diverse characters in Marvel. You could have done that, but you don't trust it. So you have to try to mimic it with something else that people like in hopes that people will like it. It's a disservice. It's disgusting and it's stupid. And they're going to keep doing that, and we're going to keep laughing at them, and this show's going to absolutely bomb. And then there was, I don't know if we want to talk about it, there was a big spoiler that was released about a specific character that's going to be in the film or the show.
Yeah, I mean, that was released at D23 or whatever when they did the little preview that, yes, Mephisto's going to be in this.
One of the greatest villains in Marvel. They're going to use Mephisto. If they wanted to sell the show, they should have made the whole teaser trailer about Mephisto. Maybe people would have got more excited. Doubt it. It's like, of all things, to dump Mephisto in a throwaway Disney Plus Marvel show that no one's going to watch. You wasted that character. Good job.
I can't wait, Jay. Ironheart coming in like a month. When does this thing release?
Like the
June
isn't it like the
24th.
weekend before Fantastic Four?
June 24th is when it releases, so a little bit before Fantastic Four, I believe.
Yeah. So then, so they'll have that out first. Oh, you know what that means? They're not going to market this film. I think you said that yesterday. They're not going to market this film at all.
It's a series.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, they're not going to market this Marvel show at all because they're going to be too busy trying to get people to go see Fantastic Four. So yeah, talk about being washed away.
I mean, they waited till 40 days before to put out a trailer for it, which we've never seen that before in history. Them wait that long to put out a trailer. And then guess what? It's going to bomb, and everyone's going to be like, well, they didn't believe in it. They didn't put any marketing behind it. That's why it failed, not because it's bad. That'll be the cope when this thing comes out and flops.
And we'll be here to laugh at them like we always do.
We will. Monday through Friday. Weekdays on Geeks and Gamers at 11 a.m. Eastern. Jessica Lindstorm Gayism for 2. Trans man, low king for trans man.
Sure.
I think you meant to type that in some personal ads somewhere. Jessica Lindstorm Gayism. Why does Riri look like Snoop Dogg on crack? I don't know. Tobias, I wonder if I could get Drinker in fireside chat sometime, maybe about writing. Got to record one this weekend for talk about favorite indie games. You always never hurts to ask. I got to be honest. I am really bad about ever looking at my fucking Twitter DMs now because, to be quite frank, every time I go into message requests, it's all either fucking crypto scams or porn bots. Like just a fucking wall of that shit. I was like, what the fuck is even the point?
Probably the occasional death threat here and there, right?
I sometimes though I don't even get to notice those anymore. That's the sad part. I don't even get to notice when fucking haters say something to me because it's just porn bots and crypto. Eddie Brock for 249. Ryan, please review tomorrow's Doctor Who Eurovision episode. Tomorrow's episode? Why do you want me to review tomorrow's episode? Is it going to be particularly bad or something? Ariel Key. Andor and Rebel 1 will never be canon to me because they undermine, destroy Kyle Katarn's story. He got the Death Star plans. Yeah, he was one of the people involved in getting the Death Star plans. And I feel the same way about anything Disney Star Wars. However, if I'm talking about the show, I'm going to tell you what I think they executed well or not well with the show itself. And then also talk about any of those things or things that they stole or things that they did differently better before. But I 100% agree with you. But Cassian Andor is effectively a gender swap Kyle Katarn. Jyn Erso is what I mean by that is not gender swap. He is Kyle Katarn and Jyn Erso is Jan Ors, but they gender swapped the lead roles for those characters for Rogue One. That's what I mean by that. And yeah, I agree.
Just a couple of dudes being bros.
Yeah. David Smart for 5 comments about the former CIA Comey issuing death threat on Trump. It's insane. The TDS is all-time high.
I did about almost a whole hour on it this morning. We went through the whole process of how he posted beautiful shells. Then he took it down. And then Tulsi, of all people, went on Fox News and said, I want him arrested. That's the quick.
Gerald Armstrong for 2. Getting black fatigue. Thank you. Ever play the video game Bomberman 64? Any good?
Yes, I did play that. I can't remember
Bomberman
if it was any good,
64.
but I did play that game.
I don't think I remember that one. What's it like?
I don't remember.
1992 space movie for 5. Why would you watch that terrible Ironheart show when there's a better film about space with an all-black cast from 1992? The choice is obvious. Yeah, there are. It was all black cast. You're right. Gabriel Knight, regardless of anyone's opinions on Andor's quality, I think one thing's indisputable. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. There's barely any aliens, and it looks and feels like generic futuristic Earth. I do think I've been saying this a lot, especially on the EFAP episodes. I think that this show specifically missed a lot of opportunities to do things with more aliens, with more species of aliens, especially when you're telling a story about how the Empire is trampling on so many different people's rights and how a lot of people are being, mistreated and shit like that. The idea that you couldn't work that more aliens into those storylines, I think is a huge missed opportunity and doesn't make sense and wish they would have done it better. Darth Gavel for 2. Black Girl Magic Fatigue. Maximus for 199. Are you retarded? Thank you. Panic and Skyfall. You ever talk about Kirsch's victory over Vice? I saw that the trans Vice activist dude was going after her. I think you guys talked about it in Tuesday night's main event, right?
I'm not on Tuesday night's main event.
I thought they talked about it on there.
I'm pretty sure that they do, yeah.
I'm not sure because I fully admit I don't typically watch shows that I'm not on just because I'm doing other shit. But yes, I did see that it looks like that person either has been fired or may have been fired, and they were forced to take down a bunch of screenshots and posts and things like that. So I did see that, all that going on. Boba Fett for 199. How long before VR catches on? This time is over, bro. It's like 3D TVs. Remember when people tried to think that was going to be a deal? I don't know.
I think more people are watching like shows on their phone now than anything.
I don't know. There's going to be a market for fucking VR shit, but if I just think it's going to be a very, very long time before it truly takes over like a lot of people felt it would, because it just has to become better, more consistent quality in general before that happens.
Apple released that Apple Vision thing that you wear on your face, and like nobody bought it. It was like a thing, and it's like supposed to replace your computer. You put it on, and like you can see your screen and Minority Report it and all that stuff. And it was like they hyped that up to be like the new thing where you don't have to buy a big TV in your home. You just have a bunch of these things, and everybody sits down, and they're like, you could have more space for activities, and you put those things on, and everybody watches TV together. And it's like people chose not to, at least not yet.
Bro, I feel like it was like 15 years ago, or maybe more, when we started hearing about Google Glasses and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Oh, they had like that special thing you could tap when you're like looking at stuff.
Mm-hmm. Over on the local side, grab Thar's hammer for $5. He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." It's true. That's why I didn't want to become a skater boy, Logan Johnson. Hail fellow IDOTs in 199. Tomorrow's my birthday. And to celebrate, I'm going to watch Iron Man to purge the DEI replacement from my mind. Hope you guys have a good day and keep up the awesome work.
Thank you. I love that first Iron Man.
Thanks, Logan. And happy early birthday on a Saturday. You can just kind of relax and chill. That's nice. Bungles Twanger for 2. Hip Heart, Black Heart, Iron Maiden.
Bungles Twanger.
Lynn Storm, get it right, Gayen. Who is this person?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, who is this person? That's what I want to know. Jay, are you excited? Is next week a opening of Epic Universe?
Yes. And Park Hopping's going to be at a bunch of different parks. We're going to be spread out all over the place. Even Ivan, who's a part of Park Hopping, who covers our West Coast theme parks, will be flying into town. We have different people coming into town that are staying at some of the different resorts to show you everything. And hopefully they'll have the fireworks. There's going to be all kinds of special guests that they haven't released, but they did announce that there's going to be special guests at different portals to do like ribbon cuttings and stuff like that. And the last time I was there at Epic, they were actually filming a lot of commercials in the portals. And I just posted a little clip of it on Instagram. But they had a lot of different actors out there. They closed a lot of stuff down to film these things to be in preparation for Epic Universe. So not only will we be at Epic, we'll be at the other parks to see, just curious to see if wait times are a lot less. Did a lot of people decide that they wanted to go there instead of the others? Or is it everything just going to be as normal? So foot's on the ground for Park Hopping next week. It's a big
yeah. Not boots on the ground. Foot's on the ground.
It's going to be a big week for all of us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Foot's on the ground for Park Hopping.
None of us have boots in Florida. Like if you wear Crocs, you might as well just walk barefoot. So
yeah, but you would say you would say feet on the ground. You wouldn't say foots. Like, first of all, feet on the ground, okay, whatever, boot instead of boots, but foot's on the ground.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna be all over the place next week. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Which means we need to find replacements for Jay to host daily.
That's right.
So
hopefully permanent. The chat will be happy.
Yeah. I don't know if I can convince anybody to do that, but maybe we can have some special guests. If you guys have any suggestions for special guests to spend an hour with me on Thursday and potentially Friday as well, we can figure it out. It has to be somebody that I can tolerate spending an hour with. That's another, yeah, it makes it difficult. Not just somebody who's willing, but somebody I can tolerate. That makes it tough. But, we'll see what happens.
What do you expect? Do you have any expectations of what that might do here to Orlando? I do think that it's probably going to flood I-4 even more. Maybe more people have changed. Like eventually, maybe after the first 6 months, probably bring a lot more tourism down again.
I got to be real. Look, we have 140 million people that visit the state of Florida, and a lot of them Orlando every single year. I don't know how much this affects that in totality. I also think that Epic Universe is probably going to try to keep it relatively in control in terms of, I don't know if they want to go full capacity these first couple days. I don't know if they want to stick to 60 or 80% capacity to make it a better experience for everybody initially. I don't know. I have seen talk, and I think Josh D'Amaro from Disney says we think Epic Universe is going to help Disney. And I don't necessarily disagree outright. I think that 100% Epic Universe is going to take some of the market share away from Disney. I don't think there's a question about that. Opening up a brand new theme park for Universal in terms of the market share. But I do think that there's going to be some people that come down specifically to visit Epic Universe that spend a week here that are going to end up spending some time at Disney parks too. I think that's kind of more what he's talking about and trying to spin it that way. And he's not, I don't think it's necessarily 100% wrong. I think there will be people that come for Epic that also do other things, including a Disney park or two while they're there.
Yeah, and that's why they're lowering their prices over the summer, which was shocking. Usually they never lower prices over the summer because that's one of their summer and over Christmas holiday is their big. It's the most crowded time to go visit a theme park. Plus, it's awful hot. You see people almost drop dead. Never experienced that Florida heat. They're overweight.
Yeah, I was gonna say not the healthiest people.
Yeah,
it does get fucking hot. I hate how miserably hot it is here. Glad I decided to spend the rest of my life in this state.
I hate it here, but I'm choosing to stay. We get 2 days out of the year that's kind of cool and crisp. That's about it.
No fucking seasons. No snow, no fall. Just an 8-month period of relentless heat and humidity, followed by a 4-month period of, it's not too bad outside.
And nasty thunderstorms.
Fucking hurricanes. Yeah, what's not to love?
Florida.
Florida. Come to Florida, everybody. But Jay, we do have, it's Fridays, and sometimes on Fridays, we're lucky enough to have sponsors. We do have a sponsor for today's live stream, and it's Fume. So check this out. Flavored air is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping or smoking. And who's at the forefront of all of that? The award-winning flavored air device, Fume. Ever feel like you're stuck in a habit you don't even think about? Maybe it's something you reach for during stressful moments, hanging out with friends, or maybe just out of boredom. I've been there, which is why I was excited to try Fume, and it's a game changer. Fume, the sponsor of today's video, isn't another vape, e-cig, or nicotine product. It's something totally different. A simple, satisfying way to replace bad habits without inhaling anything harmful. No smoke, no vapor, no nicotine, just natural flavored air that gives you something to reach for without the chemicals. Sometimes breaking a habit isn't just about willpower. It's about having something better to reach for instead. Fume gives you that alternative. It's not just about flavor. Fume has a magnetic, fidget-friendly design that keeps your hands busy and your mind engaged. One of the best things about Fume is that it has flavors that actually taste good. Now, my personal favorite is the crisp mint, but there's a ton of different options, from citrusy to earthy to refreshing. Over 500,000 people have already added Fume to their daily routine, and I totally get why. It's simple, satisfying, and doesn't come with the downsides of smoking or vaping. And right now, if you order the Journey Pack using the code GeeksGamers, you get a free Fume topper. So if you've been thinking about changing your habits, this is the perfect first step. Scan the QR code on the screen to grab yours today, or go to tryfume.com/geeksgamers. Again, tryfume.com/geeksgamers and make the change today. Exciting, Jay?
Yeah. Can I get one? Never done it before.
Yeah, scan the QR code.
I need some peer pressure.
Scan the QR code. Use the link in the description below. Yeah.
Before we continue, I'm just curious to hear thoughts. This is a clip from an article that came out. It came out today. Disney and Epic Games are using AI to bring James Earl Jones' Darth Vader voice to Fortnite. As cool as it is to hear James Earl Jones as Darth Vader, there's just something I don't like about that. Like, I didn't mind when they had alternative actors that tried to mimic James Earl Jones to do the voice work, but he must have signed something saying it was okay, from what I remember, or I'm not sure how that works. But man, voice actors, if this continues, voice actors might be a thing of the past for certain jobs.
Well, look, we
Maybe.
found out specific. This is a
I
very
just kind of threw this out, Chad, and we weren't planning this. I just saw it.
so it's a very unique circumstance with this. Darth Vader is an iconic character in a franchise that has gone on for nearly 50 years, and despite the many poor entries over the last 12, 13 years, is likely to continue on. James Earl Jones made a deal with them to allow them to have AI replicate his voice in the future.
Okay.
So this is something that was agreed on, not just by the James Earl Jones family that they did in the aftermath. It was agreed on before James Earl Jones died.
Okay.
So I do think you're going to have people that do that and kind of sell the rights to their own voice and things like that. Now, this was done very differently than the way they did the Grand Moff Tarkin reappearance, where they didn't ask permission. They just fucking did it before the actor's family went and sued them in the aftermath.
That's where I think my mind was going. It's like they just did it without their permission, and they were upset about that.
Yeah. So this is a different situation where it's not like the family is just trying to get a bug. Like, this is something James Earl Jones agreed to with Lucasfilm before he even passed. But it is, with all that being said, it is weird and strange. And you're telling me there's not enough cuts, there's not enough lines from the movies that you could stick in there?
Yeah,
right. Why do you need an AI thing when we
Right.
have quotes from Darth Vader? We have lines from Darth Vader what else do we need?
So crazy times, man. Soon
We'll
we'll
see.
be replaced with AI.
Black Cane for $5. You think we'll get a movie about Manuel Manny Bothans stealing
One
the
can
Death
only
Star
hope.
2 plans and dying in the attempt? Manny Bothans died getting
Yeah.
us this information. Yeah. Maybe. Why would they want to put Bothans in? Those be aliens. It's too hard. Tobias Nexus VR is still going, but mostly just adult entertainment style products. I find for it, or stand here, shoot this. Nothing really revolutionary. Darth Gavel. Riri doesn't flush the toilet. She scares the shit out of it.
Well said.
Nagarnal, while Hollywood continues to shovel out dog shit, Sam Hyde and the gang finally released a trailer for MDE Extreme Peace, World Peace 2. Oh, and hashtag I stand with Foxu. I don't watch VTubers, but fuck cancel cults.
Yes.
I agree with that. I saw that got trending the other day. So thank you, Nagarnal. Mike C. Recently met a waitress who works at Dick's Last Resort at Point Orlando. Apparently, it's a restaurant where servers berate you. Gonna check it out after work. Should be interesting.
You should go with a bunch of friends. They have one in Las Vegas that I went to, and it was quite unique. Like, I think before they, at least in Vegas, before they sit you down, they're like, we just want to let you know. And then they kind of like, if you want the full experience, just let them have it, and then like let them know. And oh boy, it gets.
They fucking insult you.
Oh,
They talk
dude.
shit to you. They make fun of
They
you.
make you wear paper hats with like my paper hat said his mother should have swallowed.
Damn.
Yeah. So they put that on, and like you can't see what it says, so you wear it and you look around, people laugh, and then they let you see what it said. So yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, it's like basically coming in saying stupid and me catching a comment and me just berating you. Like that's kind of what it's like. It's kind of the experience.
It's good to know.
Darth Gavel for 2 Texas, greater in Florida. Thanks, Darth Gavel. Y'all got Mexicans, we got Cubans, you know. Bar King for Turkish, 110. I always wanted to visit both Universal and Disney and showed them both to my guests when I was living there. But fuck SeaWorld. Free the whales, not Lizzo. Also, you guys ship merch internationally. I think you'll have to see. I know in some countries it does. I don't know about Turkey. I don't know about every country, but there are some that do international. So if you go to the website and follow along for the merch, that's where you can buy it. But I imagine to Turkey, but I'm not. I can't give you a positive on that. I know some countries internationally for sure.
I think SeaWorld is underrated.
I'm not a big SeaWorld fan.
It's got the best coasters in all of Orlando.
Well, yeah, apparently they put in some new ones, so I haven't checked those out or anything, but the SeaWorld experience, it's a zoo, basically.
Yeah, but it's kind of off to the side now. I haven't never even seen the killer whale show.
It sucks. Do you know why it sucks?
Because of all the...
Because of the bullshit, right? Because the fucking bullshit about, oh my God, a killer whale fucking killed people. Yeah, no shit. Look, these fucking whales are already in captivity. After they're in captivity, you can't just fucking release them because they're not going to be able to survive if you just release them. Like the ones that are born, like you can't do it. They'll fucking die. So they're there anyway. But now it's all about, instead of them doing the cool shit, people getting in the tank and then fucking making them fly and like do all these cool shit. Instead, they're like, look, we're going to show you what whales do every day and how they utilize these techniques to survive. They're like, look how they're swimming. Look at them splash their tail. That's how they signal this. And look at the waves they can make to knock off seals from ice shelves and all this shit. And it's all this. I just want to see them do tricks and shit. All right. Like,
jump through a hoop. Come on.
I don't care if 1 or 2 of these trainers may have died in the past. Who fucking cares? I want to see some cool shit. That's the SeaWorld I remember when I was a kid. Bring me back that. I don't want to see, Look, he's fucking slapping the water lightly with his dorsal fin. I don't fucking care. It's all educational now. I feel bad for the animals, but you know what? Like that is what it is. That like you can't undo that shit for the animals that have been in captivity. You can't undo it. You can't just fucking release them. It ain't gonna work. They're gonna die.
Yeah, I think this is it. Like after these killer whales die, there'll be no more. I wonder if they'll keep a killer whale as a, as a mascot.
I don't know.
Let's get into a tank with a killer whale. That ought to go well.
Yeah, but the rest of the animals, I like animals as much as the next person. But to me, look, once I've seen a dolphin, I've seen all dolphins. So
they got a manatee tank where they take care of. It's filled with manatees that fins been cut off by boat propellers. So they got like one manatee with one flipper just trying to make it to the cabbage on the ground, and everybody waits and see. Oh, he's got one flipper. He's doing it. Takes him forever. The giant sea cow to get there.
Like once I see one polar bear, I've seen them all.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I am. Now, I lived in San Diego, and the San Diego Zoo's out there. The San Diego Zoo is fucking massive. Wait, I went there with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing you really want to see when you go there is I want to see a fucking tiger up doing something. I want to see a lion up doing something because every time you go by, they're just sleeping like lazy fucks. Yeah. So that's about the only thing that's like exciting.
Just want to see like a squirrel somehow make its way into a lion cage and let it trigger some hunting emotions. And the squirrel. I hate squirrels.
Squirrels?
I don't like them at all.
They didn't really bother me. River Miles for 5. When's the Ryan flavored fume release? Tastes like a fucked up Taco Bell order. Honestly, I mean, just like I said in that ad, the mint one, that's like, of all the ones that I've tried, because they do have like fruity flavors and stuff. I'm not really into that shit. The fucking mint, I'm good with that. Right here. Got fume. Spirian with a $5 super sticker. Shout out to Spirian. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. I should see what it actually is. It's a hype. It's a little hippopotamus hype guy. So hell yes. Russian bot for 10. I'm okay with anybody, just not Jared Normandy Beach. There's a snake in my boot. 911 or Dr. Disrespect from Wish. What?
Thank you for the $10. You're okay with anybody but Dr. Disrespect.
Jared Normandy Beach. There's a snake in my boot. 911.
Are you talking about Jeremy?
Is that Jeremy?
Is Dr. Disrespect from Wish? Is that Beardo? Jared Normandy B. Is that me?
There's a snake in my boot. 911. Salty bot.
He likes Toy Story and 199.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to put. It's the only thing I can imagine. Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill also sold their likenesses to Disney. There you go, salty bot. Legend has it every time Ryan has a positive outlook on something, his forehead gets bigger. If that were, I think maybe negative, that might make sense. Snacks for 2. Look up Darth Vader said what on YouTube. Does he say the N-word or some shit? Name is the ReedTuber who keeps up with all the VTuber news. Kirsha got Vice to take down 3 articles, but then people reported her Twitch and got her banned for a day. Hashtag I stand with Foxu.
Did she get her Twitch back? Does anybody know? Those Twitch bans are weird. Like they'll ban people for like
they call it bans, but they're not bans like YouTube bans. They're just suspensions, right? So it's like, this person got a 24-hour Twitch ban. So I'm not sure. The Common Nerds. Happy Friday, guys. It's my birthday today. Almost 40. Hey, I'm feeling you. I'll be in my late 30s by the end of the year.
It gets worse.
Keep up the great work, guys. You're an inspiration. Ryan's awesome. Jay's the best of us.
Oh, thank you.
Darth Gavel for 5. Darth Vader AI so they can have him promote LGBTQ plus DEI bridge climate change narratives.
That's going to be a great day. When I'm ruling the galaxy, I just want everyone to know that we care about our LGBTQ.
These greenhouse gases are unsustainable. Maybe.
In the month of
Kingdom Hearts
June.
Gamer, they used to have the Void in Las Vegas, which had Star Wars Secret of the Empire, amazing VR technology. Sadly, it shut down because of COVID. I think I remember, I didn't do it, but I remember people talking about that. Chris Cranford, do I have a ticket for you, Ryan, for SeaWorld? SeaWorld. Thanks, Chris. It's been a while since I've gone. I'm sure I'll go at some point. But I wanted to talk about some of the numbers that have been coming out recently about the Superman trail or about the Superman movie. Jay, we finally got the official full-length Superman trailer just a few days ago. And there have been, I think it's mostly positive reception, but there's a lot of people who don't like things about it. I really don't like the first minute and kind of what they used to start it off with him and Lois arguing. But overall, the general reception, you look at this 460,000 likes to 15,000 dislikes. Overall, fairly positive reception. What were your thoughts on the trailer in general?
I just thought it was colorful and nothing stood out to me except this interview part where it seems like Superman got into a little bit of his emotions. But that's about it. Nothing really stood out to me.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge DC guy anyway. Like Superman's cool, but it's just, I like Christopher Reeves. That's a movie I watched a million times. So this is definitely a more I think Gary said something like they're leaning into more of the comic book style. Or I don't know how accurate that is, but so the dialogue's kind of weird. Like telling the guy to right there before he launches up, he tells the guy like, "Hey, look at me," or something like that. I thought that was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't despise it or anything, but there's nothing about it that's getting me excited and believing that this is going to be exactly what I want. You know what I mean?
Right.
If that makes sense. But we do have some initial estimates from projections for what people are believing. Now, this is very early. This movie is still 2 months away. And so, box office tracking is going to be very up and down from now on. But as of right now, these are the newest, what the industry thinks. David Corenswet, Superman, eyes $650 to $850 million worldwide as per early forecast. Now, they better hope it's on the high side of this because this movie is expensive as shit. Regardless of how many times James Gunn lied about it, there's an official document filed by Warner Brothers that said the estimated budget was somewhere in the $370 million range, right? So if that's anywhere close, even 850, it doesn't really have a chance to recoup its money. But they better hope that it's on the high side of that thing because 12 years ago, Man of Steel came out and made 700 or 670 million, almost $700 million worldwide. If this movie comes in less than that, there is going to be a wave of criticism about it. And it'll be seen as a massive failure if that's what it hits. Now you have other people coming out and saying, now this isn't, I saw one person come out and say they think it's going to be $175 million US opening weekend, which would be huge if true, but there's really no tracking behind that. It's just kind of what they feel based on its Superman and based on what people feel. We've heard a variety of different things about screen testings. We've heard some people come out and say, I think it's the most incredible movie I've ever seen. Other people come out and say it's kind of shit. The movie so far to me looks meh. And meh is not going to get it done with all that DC has riding on this.
That's the thing, yeah.
And that's the thing. There's so much for the future of James Gunn universe resting on the reception and the performance of this movie that a meh movie isn't going to be good enough to get it done. That's what I see when I look at it, and certainly could blow me out of the water when I actually see it. Who knows? But for me, it looks like a big mess so far.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. If this doesn't hit, will people go back to the theater to watch the upcoming films, Supergirl and others, if they're just going to be like, it'll be on HBO Max eventually. I can wait for that. So I don't know. I have no idea. Like you, all the people online it was back and forth. I love it. I hate it. Bored. Same old stuff. Same old superhero. Too much. Too busy. Why is Superman whining and complaining? He's usually very humble. Doesn't want any praise. Doesn't want anyone to look at him. That type of thing. Wasn't one of the questions like, how do you feel being an immigrant in this country? Like, wasn't that like the first question like Lois asked him? So, man, I hope he doesn't put any political messaging. I don't think he would, but man, let's hope not. That would tank it completely. And did you see that one scene where they changed online where apparently they made him not blink his eyes?
They did. There's a lot of criticism when the guy throws the can at him in that teaser trailer we got that he blinked, and they did change that. They CGI'd the blink out,
right?
Which they're obviously listening and hearing what some people are saying about at least parts of the movie. You know, I have seen a lot of negativity around it. However, in the same way that we look at the Ironheart trailer that got absolutely obliterated and ratioed, we go over here, there's only 15,000 dislikes.
Yeah.
Right. It's got 17 million views. A lot of people have watched it. There haven't been a lot of people, at least on YouTube, that say, oh, I fucking hate this when you look at that. So I think overall, maybe it's just because the spaces in the YouTube space and Twitter or wherever where we're seeing some of this stuff, maybe some of that stuff seems overblown. I didn't hate the trailer, but I don't really like it all that much either. It's not getting me excited and invested to see it, which is the point of a trailer.
My biggest fear is that they've crammed so much in this that parts of the story are going to get too sped up. So, I mean, we've seen a lot of the dog. The dog's everywhere in his own commercials and everything. So
I am really tired of the dog. Really tired of crypto. Not because I don't like crypto. It's going to be a challenge to make crypto an effective part of this. Not just this, any movie you did with crypto, I feel like it would be a challenge to do it in a live action setting. But the fact that James Gunn has put so much of himself and his own fucking dog into this, as well as basically everything else, it does make me just roll my eyes.
I just like
girls are gonna love the dog though.
Yeah, and they'll want plushies and everything else. So that's for sure. This is a new villain.
That's the engineer.
The engineer. So yeah, it's just like there's a lot. There's so much. So I wonder like how they're gonna start the film. You know, because obviously he's already in a relationship with Lois Lane, but his dad is in there. So I'm assuming that's just flashback stuff when he's like down on his luck and he's remembering his dad giving him those words. And he's just trying to, it feels like this is and this is just teaser trailer conspiracy wonder. It just feels like Superman is in a place where he knows he can make a change, but he doesn't know where he fits in. Because I could see it where he saves the day, but Lex Luthor paints him out to be the villain like Spider-Man, like the Daily Bugle, right?
That's
so now he's got to prove
doing,
himself,
yes.
and that's why he's doing an interview with Lois Lane to kind of tell his story, so they'll shed good light on Superman that he's not a bad guy, you know, and maybe it gets to him. Maybe he's just like, I'm helping people. Why are y'all talking? Where's the army of monkeys that are like on social media? You know, tweeting all this stuff out, bad stuff about me. I want to know.
I think this trailer hits a lot differently. If, say we get, instead of the opening being him arguing with reporter Lois, right, over what's going on for the first minute, what if instead of that, we get the voiceover by his dad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, what if that's the initial part of this trailer? And as he's talking about your actions, your decision, like that's who you are, like these types of things. Instead, why don't we put that in the beginning over shots of him saving people, like are scattered throughout this trailer? I think that sets a really different tone for it. But again, it's one thing for me to say I didn't really like the trailer. Apparently, a lot of people did. So
Yeah,
We'll see if it works out.
yeah, we'll see. Interesting month, July. It's gonna be it is cool to have a nice month where there's a lot of like big blockbusters coming out at the same time. So I feel like we haven't had that in a while. Maybe it's just me.
It's gonna be crowded. DJ for 5. Do you guys see the recent news of Bungie stealing artwork from an independent creator again? This time 1-to-1, literal copy and paste.
Really?
Concord
I
2.0.
did not see that.
Well, I don't know if Concord actually stole shit. They probably should have. Maybe they would have made a better game. But yeah, Marathon. I saw a lot. I was planning potentially to talk about it today, but I needed to gather some more tweets and shit like that. But yes, that is a big story that's out there. Marathon, a bunch of the assets in their game are from some artists, and a bunch of people in the Bungie art team follow that artist. Bungie came out and was like, well, a former employee did this. We're looking into it, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Elite Neo for 5. A restaurant where you're allowed to berate and insult the customers. Sounds like Ryan's dream job. Hey, if I ever get this whole YouTube thing doesn't work out, I'm going to go work at Dick's, not the sporting goods store. Panic and Skyfaller. Animals were ruined for me by the internet. I get the same satisfaction of seeing them on Google as seeing the real thing. It's also why I'm not married yet. Well, there you go. I hope you're not looking at the same type of videos there, Panic and Skyfaller. Day Tripper. Marine biologist. That orca killed 5 trainers, not 2 or 3. Also, orcas never kill humans in the wild, only in parks due to stress. Kiko from Free Willy. When freed, always try to go back to the water park due to habit. Yeah. Tillicum is the name of the orca who killed several people. But you know what? I think some things are worth risking life and limb to entertain the masses, to give people a great show. I mean, come on, Jay. Look at Tom Cruise out there jumping out of fucking planes, doing stunts, jumping motorcycles off things. Sometimes you got to risk life and limb to give people the entertainment. Just saying.
Congrats on being a marine biologist and tuning into Geeks and Gamers Daily.
Ryan Charlton for 5. Why does he look like Astro Boy in that picture? Superman? I don't know. Black Kane for 5. Check out the Rip anthology book. It's got stories from Drinker, Az, Mahler, and some other guy.
We just crossed 4,000 books sold on that. So thank you, everybody who picked it up. And that's pretty awesome. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Hope you guys like the stories.
Seth Cruz, Seth's Aquariums, for 5. Superman should be masculine, not a James Gunn self-insert that can't defend himself or train his dog. I'm out on James Gunn's Soy Man.
The 2 trailers did show Superman beaten up a lot. Like, it's just, he's constantly beaten down.
It looks like there's gonna be a lot of battles, right?
Yeah.
It looks like there's gonna be a lot of things that are going on that he has to step in and save Metropolis from. Tobias for 10. The problem with Superman is how do you make a story about someone who is, for all appearances, completely invulnerable to everything, an interesting story? What can actually challenge him? Well, as much as I don't like the idea of fucking monkeys acting as internet trolls for Lex Luthor in an alternate dimension, the concept of Lex Luthor trying to publicly destroy and manipulate Superman's reputation, that is something he's vulnerable to, right? Those are stories that you can tell and things you can do with Superman. Now, whether this comes off as cringe and as insane as the leaks say it comes off as in the movie, that's something different. And how does Superman react to those things? Is it what we feel how Superman would react to this if there's a social media hashtag super shit and it really bothers him? Like, those are the questions that we have to answer in the movie. Clark agreed to stand in so Lois can practice a Superman interview. Clark takes it personally since he is Superman. Lois doesn't know he is Superman. I think she knows he's Superman in this.
It's what it looks like, yeah.
Like, I don't know where you're saying that from. If that's just like, I'm pretty sure that Lois knows he's Superman. They've been in a relationship for a while. Is my understanding of how this is working. But I don't know. Maybe you're right though. Maybe she doesn't know yet. But that's not what I took away from it. But
we'll find out soon.
But maybe I misread it completely. But I don't think so. Darth Gabble. What if Kal-El's pod crash in 1930s China instead? Snacks for two. Sydney Sweeney is Supergirl. Eyes up here. Hey, eyes up here. Was he talking to John Campea? Says Golden Nuggets. Maybe he was. Maybe he was. D's Webos. I bet that in the Superman movie, Superman's going to get beat up a lot. But in the Supergirl movie, she's probably going to be unstoppable. Supergirl's going to be in this movie. You know?
That's another one. Yeah. So that's another person that's in there.
Like that has already
Dear
been.
God, please don't let all these superheroes come to Superman and have a powwow section where it's like, we need you. Don't listen to them. We're with you. Everybody give each other a hug. You can do it. You're Superman.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be antagonistic. That's what I think. I think it's going to be antagonistic that you have this group, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. I think you're going to have these people that are already operating as their kind of own entity, and they're going to be at odds with Superman, and Superman's going to have problems with the way they do things, and they don't want him to get involved. He doesn't want them to. That's what I think.
So it'll be kind of like a Civil War type thing.
I don't think they're going to be.
You got to fall in line, Superman. You got to fall in line.
That's a little bit more what I think it's going to be like.
Okay.
Not a civil war in the terms of they're going to necessarily fight each other in that type of way, but just from they ain't working together type of thing. Now that'll probably all change at the very end where they need to work together. But we'll see. But I think we're all caught up, Jay. Over on the locals, actually. Nin Roku for $1 says, Jay, we'll miss you next week. You're irreplaceable.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me on this channel.
This channel?
Yeah.
There you go. What do you got going on this weekend other than more broth?
That's it. Taking it easy. Gonna attempt to make a video for Drunk 3PO. It's been a week. We'll see how well that does. But getting back doing things. So kind of boring.
There you go. I'll be on FNT later today and probably on EFAP over the weekend at some point, and then my stream on Sunday. So there you have it. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, though. Thank you, guys.
A rare Ryan longer than an hour show. Very rare with me.
Yeah. I almost just fucking cut it off. I can't handle it anymore. But all right, that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, everybody.